All right, it's time to admit it. AEW has made a big mistake with Mercedes Mone, and in this video I'm going to talk about it. I am a big supporter of Mercedes Mone, but there's a lot of haters out there, and I've defended Mone, and I've defended AEW over and over and over. Mercedes Mone making the jump to All Elite Wrestling was and is a big deal. They know it, you know it, and Mercedes knows it. Because not only have they made her arrival in AEW a big deal, they've changed the format of their product to suit Mercedes Mone. Because unlike a lot of people in AEW, especially the women's division, it is very rare for this to happen. AEW has decided internally, I talked about this in previous videos, but it's been reported, I believe it was Fightful of Sean Ross Sapp first reported this, that internally they have a Mercedes Mone segment, and then they have a women's segment, or a Mercedes Mone segment, and then other women's segments, right? Usually with your top tier talent, right? Your MJFs, or your Samoa Joes, or your Swerve Stricklands, your MJF, Adam Cole's, Chris Jericho's, you name it, your top tier talent, they had their own individual segments, and then you kind of build the show around them with other talent that you're trying to get over in matches and stuff like that. And there's a lot of times, and WWE is acceptable to this as well, where so say you have the women's championship. Okay, well, you put the feud of that in one segment, and then there's no other women's segments on the show, right? It's just a one thing. So AEW at least acknowledges, hey, Mercedes Mone, she's a big star. She's going to have her own segment. So she makes her debut in May. Big deal. She comes out there. She's got the catchy theme song, right? And so then she gets into the program with Toni Storm. Or excuse me, Julia Hart and Willow Nightingale, right? With the idea that she will challenge the winner of Julia Hart and Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship at Double or Nothing. And I think that they've made a big mistake in this regard, and I wanted to talk about it. I also have some comments from Eric Bischoff, which I actually think he has some credence to his rant. AEW has made a big problem with Mercedes Mone in the sense of she has been sidelined for almost a year. She suffered a devastating injury last summer, ironically in a match against Willow Nightingale over in New Japan. Okay? She has not worked a single match since then. Yes, she has gotten physical on television, but it's still not the same. So now you are expecting, most likely, Mone to wrestle Julia Hart for the TBS Championship at Double or Nothing in May. You're expecting her to go out there and have a 15-20 minute match and knock off ring rust in a big way. That's a problem. It's a problem on two ways. One, it's a problem just for Mone. Why wouldn't you allow her to go out there and knock off the ring rust and get back into ring shape and make her feel even more confident going into that match, right? Because take away the cardio, she's still got an injured, ligament where, okay, can I do this now like I used to? Am I going to have to change my ring style because of this issue, right? There's that. And then also, you're missing out on the fact of you could have drawn more pay-per-view buys by booking her in a match at Dynasty, the pay-per-view. Why wouldn't you do that? You are missing out on two opportunities for extra revenue from Mone, who you are reportedly paying as the highest female star in all of pro wrestling. You could have booked her in a squash match at Dynasty, done a 10-minute match against, put a name in there, right? And you can still draw to the Julia Hart. But instead, you're not. And I think that's a problem that AEW has made. Now, Eric Bischoff on 83 Weeks. I posted this over on 411 Mania if you want to read the transcript. He was also asked, would he have saved Mone's AEW in-ring debut for Double or Nothing or Dynasty? And he said, I would have had her wrestle before the May pay-per-view, meaning Double or Nothing. I would have actually tried to build her up in a way to make her interesting and compelling. Right now, I was asked, it's not that I came out and started throwing his crap around just hoping that somebody would be interested. I was asked the question months and months ago, do you think Mone will have any impact in AEW? And without even taking a breath to express one syllable answer to that, it was no, she's not. She hasn't, she won't. And that's self-inflicted and has nothing to do with her potential or what she's capable of as a talent. It's the environment she's in. It's a dysfunctional creative. It is dysfunctional creatively. There's a lack of vision. It's just impossible for anybody to show up and have an impact or move the needle or change the game or whatever empathism you want to use as a metaphor. Whatever it is at this point, it doesn't matter. They can do anything they want with her. It's not going to matter. It's over. They blew it. She's going to be Saraya as the next big thing for the women's division. A game changer. Really? What are we seeing so far? Absolutely nothing. 2 months from now, you will be looking at the same scenario for Mone. Not because of her, or maybe she's part of it. She could be part of the problem. But the real problem is no fundamental understanding of how to build a wrestling company for television in this country at AEW. If they're hiding, they're in witness protection. Wow. Okay, so there's a lot to break down there. Do I think Mone is the problem? No, I do not. I think it's a Tony Khan problem. I think most people would agree with that, right? Would I have done things differently with Mone compared to what AEW has done? Of course. Of course. How couldn't you? Do I think Mone can be a big star for AEW? Do I think she's already a megastar for AEW? Absolutely. Do I think she can draw interest and money? She's already done it. So when it comes to, is she going to be a game changer for AEW? She already has. Unlike Saraya, in which he points out, Saraya did not do a dang thing for AEW. And it sucks. What is she doing right now? I can't tell you. I'm sure someone in the comments will, but I can't tell you. I don't know what is going on with AEW right now and Tony Khan, but I hope he can turn it around. And I think Mercedes Mone can be part of the solution to turn that around.